There is a woman in your life right now, maybe at the grocery store, maybe at the community center, maybe walking her dog past your house every morning, and she has been telling you she's interested for weeks, but you haven't heard a thing. Not because she's silent, but because you've been listening with the wrong instrument. You've been waiting for words, for a direct confession, for something unmistakable. And I'm here to tell you gently, that's not how mature attraction speaks. I reject the world of pickup lines and manipulation tactics. That noise is for boys. What I'm about to share with you is the quiet, dignified, everyday language of a woman who has lived, loved, and learned. Most men never notice this. They walk past open doors every single day. By the time I'm done, you will see the world differently. You will understand what she's really looking for, and you will move through your daily life with the calm, masculine presence of a man who finally knows he is being invited. Let's name the pain. You go about your day. You see women. Some smile, some don't. You exchange pleasantries, and then you go home, alone. And there's that quiet voice that asks, was there something there? Did I miss it? That voice is not wrong, my friend. It's just late. Most men at this stage do this wrong. They operate on a model of attraction that expired 30 years ago. They think if a woman doesn't touch their arm, laugh at their jokes, or bat her eyelashes, she's simply being friendly or polite, and so they do nothing. They nod, they walk away, they let the moment die, and the woman? She walks away too, shaking her head slightly, wondering why the man she just gave 3 clear signals to was completely oblivious. That's the pain. The missed connection. The feeling that you've lost your edge. Let me tell you something. You haven't lost your edge. You've just been looking for fireworks when she's been lighting candles. Today, we fix that. Those who have spent years observing human connection understand a biological truth about women at this stage of life. Her nervous system is no longer impressed by flash. It is moved by substance. She is not looking for a man who can entertain a room. She is looking for a man who can hold space. Her signals are not loud because she has learned that loud things often break. Instead, her body language reveals her interest through tiny, consistent gestures woven into the fabric of her everyday routine. This is the unspoken language of mature attraction. And there is one gesture in particular. I'm saving this for the end. That is so ordinary, so overlooked, that most men over 60 have seen it 100 times and never once recognized it for what it truly is: a love signal. Let's begin with the first everyday gesture. I call this the slow put away. You're in line, at the bank, the post office, the coffee counter. She's ahead of you. The transaction ends. It's time for her to leave. But watch what happens next. She doesn't grab her things and bolt. She takes her time. She folds her receipt. Slowly. She adjusts the strap on her purse. She pats her pockets for keys she knows are right there. She's lingering. She's telling you without words, I'm not in a hurry to leave your presence. Most men never notice this. They're checking their own phone or looking at the menu board. They miss the gift of the extended moment. But the man who understands sees the slow put away for what it is: an open window. She's giving you time. Time to say something. Time to notice her. Your job is not to stare. Your job is to simply be present. Offer a warm, relaxed smile. If the moment feels right, a simple, they always make these receipts too long, don't they? That's it. You've acknowledged her unspoken language. You've shown her you're awake. The second everyday gesture is the directional nudge. You're somewhere in public. She's nearby. Maybe she's with a friend. Maybe she's alone. And you notice that her body is not squared up to the room or to her own companion. Her shoulders, her hips, her feet, they're angled toward you. Even if she's looking away, even if she's talking to someone else, her body is pointing at you like a compass needle. This is not an accident. At this stage of life, a woman is acutely aware of her personal space and her energy. She does not waste it pointing toward people she doesn't want to connect with. The directional nudge is her subconscious telling you, you are the center of my gravity in this room. But here's where most men fail. They see her talking to her friend and assume she's occupied. They don't approach. They don't even make eye contact. They wait for a sign that she's free. She's already given it. Her body is the sign. Those who understand this simply catch her eye, nod gently, and let their own body language say, "I feel the pull, too." The third everyday gesture is the object bridge. This is one of my favorites because it's so subtle, so innocent, and yet so powerful. She uses an object to create a connection between you. You're both looking at the same shelf in the library. You're both reaching for the same type of apple. You're both waiting for the crosswalk light. And she says something about the object. That one looks good. This author is wonderful. Feels like this light takes forever. She's not talking to you directly. She's talking to the space between you. She's throwing a pebble into the pond to see if you'll watch the ripples. She's creating a low-pressure reason for you to respond. Most men miss this completely. They hear the comment and think, "Oh, she's just thinking out loud." They don't realize she's just handed them the easiest opening in the world. The correct response is to accept the bridge. "He's my favorite too." Or, I think they time these lights to test our patience." You're not hitting on her. You're just sharing a moment. And that shared moment, my friend, is the soil where a deep connection begins to grow. Let me pause here and give you a failure flash moment of my own. I was at a farmer's market 2 autumns ago. A woman next to me at the honey stand picked up a jar of wildflower honey and said, mostly to herself, but clearly loud enough for me to hear, "I can never decide between this and the clover." I looked over. She was lovely. Silver hair pulled back, kind eyes, and I just nodded. I nodded and went back to looking at the beeswax candles. She put the jar down and walked away. I didn't realize until I was driving home that she had built a bridge. She had given me the honey jar as an excuse to talk, and I had walked right past it. Don't be me, my friend. When a woman hands you an object bridge, walk across it. The fourth everyday gesture is the gentle mirror. You shift your weight. A few seconds later, she shifts her weight. You take a sip of your drink. She takes a sip of hers. You cross your arms. She crosses hers. This is not mimicry. This is her nervous system syncing with yours. It's a subconscious signal of rapport and comfort. It says, without a single word, "I feel safe with you. I am attuned to your rhythm." Most men never notice this because they're too busy in their own heads. But when you do notice it, it's like discovering a secret handshake. The key here is not to test her by moving suddenly. That's a game, and we don't play games. The key is to simply feel the connection. Let it warm you. Let it give you the confidence to know that on a primal biological level, she is already moving with you. The fifth everyday gesture is the return glance. This happens in passing. You're walking down the street, you pass a woman, you exchange a brief, neutral look. That's normal. That's nothing. But watch what happens 3 or 4 steps after you pass her. Does she glance back? Most men never see this because they don't turn around. But if you're in a window's reflection, or if you just have the awareness to feel it, a woman who felt a spark will almost always look back. It's involuntary. Her brain is processing, "Wait, what was that?" She's telling you without words, "I need a second look." If you catch her in the return glance, do not wave. Do not turn fully around and stare. Just offer the faintest, warmest smile. Let your eyes say, "I felt it too." And then keep walking. That moment will stay with her all day. It will plant a seed. And if you see her again, you are no longer strangers. The sixth everyday gesture is the open air offer. She's sitting on a park bench. There's room. You walk by. She doesn't move her bag to the empty space to block you. She doesn't cross her legs away from you. She might even shift slightly, making the space beside her more obvious. Or she's at a crowded event, and she angles her chair just enough to leave a path to the seat next to her. She is, without a word, saying, "This space is available to you." Most men see an empty seat and think, "I shouldn't bother her." They keep walking. They miss the invitation. A woman who wants to be left alone will make the space around her feel closed. Her bag will be a fortress. Her body language will be a wall. When she opens the space, she is opening herself. Accept the offer gently. Ask, "Is this seat taken?" Even if it's clearly empty. The asking is the respect. The sitting is the acceptance of her silent signal. And now we arrive at the seventh gesture, the one I promised to save for the end, the most everyday gesture of all. the one that is so ordinary you have seen it 1,000 times and never recognized it. It is the shared stillness. You're both in a waiting room. You're both watching a sunset. You're both standing on a corner waiting for the light. And nothing happens. She doesn't pull out her phone. She doesn't fidget. She doesn't fill the air with chatter. She simply stays beside you, in the quiet, sharing the moment without needing to possess it. This is the holy grail of mature attraction. At this stage of life, a woman has no patience for men who drain her. She has no interest in filling every silence with noise. When she chooses to be still next to you, she is telling you something profound. She's telling you that your energy is enough, that your presence is a gift, not a demand. She is testing in the most gentle way possible whether you can hold space without needing to perform. Most men fail this test spectacularly. The silence makes them nervous. They feel the need to entertain. They ask a question. They make a comment about the weather. They shatter the glass. And in that moment, she sighs internally. Not because the question was wrong, but because the piece was right. And he broke it. The man who understands the shared stillness simply breathes. He lets the silence be. He might glance at her with a soft, knowing look that says, "This is nice." And then he returns his gaze to the world. In that shared quiet, a deep connection is forged. It is the unspoken language of two people who are comfortable in their own skin and comfortable in each other's presence. That is what she's really looking for. A man she can be quiet with. These are the everyday gestures. The slow put away. The directional nudge. The object bridge. The gentle mirror. The return glance. The open-air offer. And the shared stillness. None of them require a pickup line. None of them require you to be someone you're not. They only require you to be present, to be aware, to trust that a woman at this stage of life knows what she wants, and she is telling you every single day in ways that are quiet but never silent. If this has opened your eyes, my friend, if you are sitting there replaying moments from the past week and seeing them in a new light, then I ask you to hit that subscribe button. Do it, so more men like us can access this understanding, so we can stop chasing and start receiving. Next time, we are going to talk about the one question a mature woman asks herself when she first hears your voice, and your answer has nothing to do with your words. In the comments right now, tell me, which of these 7 everyday gestures have you been missing the most? For me, it was the object bridge. I still cringe at that honey jar. What was it for you? I read every single one. Now go out there, my friend, and see your world with new eyes. She's telling you without words.